My name's Tony Berger. I've taught at Black River Falls High School for 26 years in Social Studies Department. Most of that time I've taught next door to Paul Rykken, and he's just been a fantastic mentor, colleague, and most importantly, friend.
I am very honored to be able to share some lessons that I have learned from Mr. Rykken, both as a coworker and then also as a friend. As a coworker and as an educator, one thing I know that he's taught his students and he's taught me is that we always need to consider history and the past in our decision making.
One of the lessons that I learned from Mr. Rykken is always think before you speak. There's so many times when you're dealing with staff or with students where there might be something that you want to say, but you really should take a step back and think about it before those words come out of your mouth or be put into an email.
One thing Mr. Rykken has taught me would probably be the idea of dedication. He's been dedicated not only to his job, but also to the students, to our school, to our community, to us as staff. I don't think there's been a day where he hasn't been involved in one manner or another trying to help any one of us succeed.
As a teacher, I definitely admired all his hard work with the programs that he had for the students. I admired his coaching. He brought out the best in his athletes.
One of the things that I like about Mr. Rykken's teaching style is that he comes across as a very dry and set back teacher. So like the opposite of what Mr. Berger or myself would be, where we're loud, boisterous, you kind of know everything about us. Mr. Rykken is a little more reserved. However, once students really get to know him, they really appreciate how much he truly cares about them.
Mr. Rykken isn't really a guy that loves icebreakers or touchy-feely kind of playful activities. And so at our faculty meeting, the running joke was, oh, we better do one of those type of activities, a sharing moment, because Mr. Rykken would really want that.
One of the things I really like about his personality is he's very much like Mr. Young was, where he times his jokes perfectly. He's not a person that needs to be silly all the time, but when he lets a joke go, it's worth every moment.
And one story I was never involved in, but that his wife told, that just always cracks me up, is the time he went to cook dinner and apparently put a can in boiling water. It's not even my story. That makes me laugh, just to think that a man as smart as him is trying to boil a can.
There was one time where a student came to Mr. Rykken and I and said they had to take a picture of us, and I don't remember what it was for. Well, Paul said, well, let's take the picture. And I said, I'm not going to take it unless we wear these hats. I had 2 pink stocking hats in my room left over from hat day. And he said, I'm not going to wear it. And I said, well, I'll do one without the hats, but you have to do one with the hats. And finally, after that while, he was grumpy and acquiesced and finally wore the hat. Now, if you go into a Google search and put Paul Rykken, usually the first or second picture that always comes up is he and I wearing those pink hats.
Mr. Rykken, I'm going to miss you tons. I know our students and our school will miss you tons, but we hope that you stick around BRF and stop by when you're able.
Paul, we're going to miss you. There's a lot that you bring to the table that we are hoping we can kind of carry on some of these pieces. But it was a true pleasure, Paul. We miss you already.
I want to wish Mr. Rykken good luck. I know that he's going to enjoy retirement. I know that he'll never fully retire. He's always going to work. And of course, he's always welcome back home at Black River Falls High School, and he's always going to be a part of our social studies department. Thank you, Paul, for your many years of hard work.